أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله الذي ليس لأولية الابتداء ولا أنزلية الانقضاء والحضرة الأوصاف أن كنت معرفته وردت عظمة الحقوق والذي ألا تواري عنكم سماء سماء ولا أرض أرضا. ثم الصلاة والسلام والتحية والإكرام على سيدة الفتحاء سيدة المرسلين والأنبياء أبا القاسم محمد المصطفى.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
وعلى جعفرة القدسية البتول الأرواح سيدة النساء فاطمة الزهراء وعلى بهلها أمير المؤمنين وبنيها الذين أنهب الله عنكم الرجس وطهركم تطهيرا.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
لا سيما بقية الله وحجة الكبرى الذي بيمنه وزق الورى وبالوجوده ثبتت الأرض بالسماء ولولاه وساهت الأرض بأهلها واللعنة الدائمة على دائمتها أجمعين من حين دوايتهن إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد فقد قال الله تعالى وتبارك في كتابه الكريم. We believe in our 12 Imami faith that the Holy Prophet and the Ahlul Bayt are part of one Nur and they are similar to each other. Because the Hadith has said, Awwaluna Muhammad wa Akhiruna Muhammad wa Awsatuna Muhammad wa Kulluna Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. So they are all part of one Nur, and the first one, and the last one, and the middle one, and all of them are the same. But having said that, we still believe that there are certain distinguishing attributes found in one and not in the other. And tonight, I would like to mention 6 of those 72 attributes of Sayyid al-Shuhada Husayn ibn Ali alayhi salatu wassalam. So each of those imams have those specific attributes which in Arabic we call khasa'is. Like Amir al-Mu'mineen Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam is the only Imam who's addressed as Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, O Commander of the Faithful. Well, every Imam is the Commander of the Faithful, isn't that right? In the literal meaning. But this title is specific to its Imam Ali alayhi salam, because when somebody came and asked Imam Sadiq that if I want to say salam to Imam Mahdi, Ajjallahu Ta'ala Faraj, what shall I say? Obviously, his nur was already created as part of the nur of the Prophet. So it's okay to say salam to Imam Mahdi in the times of Imam Sadiq. Shall I say, Assalamu alayka ya Amirul Mu'mineen? And Imam says, no. Instead you say, and I am paraphrasing all these narrations in my own words, Imam says, Assalamu alayka ya Baqiyatullah. This is the title of Imam Sahib al-Zaman. And this means remainder of Allah. Baqiyatullah khairan lakum in kuntum mu'mineen. This ayat of the Holy Quran is reflecting on Imam Sahib al-Zaman and his laqab and title, which is Baqiyatullah. And this is exactly the same ayat which when the 12th Imam ﷺ will come and arrive at the Holy Kaaba, and the first thing that he will recite is the recitation of this holy ayat. Baqiyatullah is khair for you if you are mu'min. And then he would introduce himself. Ana Baqiyatullah, I am the Baqiyatullah. So we find that every Imam has a specific laqab and title. So Baqiyatullah is the specific laqab and title of the 12th Imam. We don't address any other Imam with this title, just like we don't address any other Imam with the title of Amir al-Mu'mineen other than Imam Ali alayhi salam. So coming back to the point I was making, that every Imam has a specific laqab and title. And tonight, I would like to mention 6 of those 72 attributes of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. 72 of the Khasais al-Husainiyah have been mentioned by Ayatullah Usman Sheikh Jafar Shustri rahmatullah alayhi in his book Al-Khasais al-Husainiyah. In that book alone, he mentions 72 attributes of Imam Hussain, and we find that once when the Prophet had Imam Hussain in his lap and was showing his extreme love towards Imam Hussain, and al-Mu'mineen Aisha was also present there, and she asks him, "How much do you like this child?" And the Prophet says, "This son of mine is going to be killed, and whosoever visits this son of mine, Allah is going to give him the reward of 1 Hajj of mine." Obviously, when you talk about the Hajj of Rasulullah, it is confirmed that it is accepted. So when Prophet expresses the sawab, then Aisha expresses her surprise. So the Prophet doubles the sawab, 2 Hajj of Rasulullah. Aisha expresses her surprise again. This hadith is mentioned in the book Kamilul Ziyarat, which is one of the mother books of Ziyarat in Islam, written by Marhum Alim Jalil Ibn Kulaba rahmatullah alayh. So I mentioned that she is surprised, and the Prophet doubles the sawab again. 4 Hajj of Rasulullah. Again the same thing happens. 8 Hajj of Rasulullah. And it goes on so and so forth until the Prophet mentions that the sawab of doing ziyarat of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein is equal to 90 Hajj of Rasulullah. 90. Hajj of Rasulullah. Unimaginable. 90 accepted Hajj of Rasulullah. So the first specific attribute is that the time you spend in ziyarat is not counted to be part of your age. Specific attributes of Imam Mazlum are considered to be afzal and superior to that of the Holy Kaaba. There were only 2 soils, according to the hadith, that Allah lifted at the time of the storm of Prophet Nuh, and the water did not dare to wet these soils. One was the soil of the Holy Kaaba, and the other was the soil of Karbala. Our Urafa, who don't have veils of sins in front of their eyes, have different perspectives. We say that the time you spend in ziyarat is not counted to be part of your age. But they say that is our real age. The time we visit Imam Hussain, that is our real age. So this is the status of ziyarat. The second attribute we find is arba'in. There is no recommendation from the Ahlul Bayt to commemorate any arba'in other than Imam Hussain alayhi salam. Do you find from the bulk of ziyarats in dua a ziyarat of arba'in for Imam Ali, or Imam Hassan, or Imam Sadiq? The answer is no. In our greatest treasures of du'as, we don't find any. So for none of our Masumeen we are required to go and recite Ziyarat of Arba'een, but specifically for Imam Hussain alayhi salam. And it is mustahab to the extent that it is considered to be the sign of a mu'min. Ziyarat of Arba'een of Imam Hussain has iconic value. The third thing is acceptance of dua under his dome. This is a blind check from Allah. This is a blind check from Rasulullah. Look at the beauty of our religion. Look at the azmat of Imam Hussain. Any dua that you have, go and stand under the dome of Imam Hussain and seek it, and it will be accepted. Next is the shafaat and cure in the turbat of Imam Hussain. We find that it is haram to eat the soil of Najaf, Medina, the Kaaba, or the graveyard of Baqi. May God give us the tawfiq to visit all these places. The only turbat which is allowed to eat in Islam is the turbat of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. So we make sajda of this turbat, we make tasbih of this turbat. Another attribute is that the imamat of 9 imams continues in the nasl of Imam Hussain. Keep in mind that all our ibadats are conditional. Going to ziyarat earns you paradise, but with the condition of marifat. Ziyarat with marifat. Let's remember the sequence. A chain of events has to take place first. First we do ibadat. By product of that is the nur of marifat, which comes in the soul after ibadat. So first comes knowledge, then acting on that knowledge. Combine the two to perform ibadat. Amal plus ilm, we do ibadat. The outcome is marifat. Then love of Allah is a byproduct of marifat. And at stage 3, love of Allah, the prophets and imams are all the same. Paradise has 8 doors and hell has 7 doors. One of the 8 doors of paradise is called Babul Hussain, and it is the widest of all the doors. Our scholars say that most people are receiving hidayat through Imam Hussain alayhi salam. Salawat. Let's pray. Ilahi bihaq zahra bare ilahi parcham Islam ko sar buland farma. परचम कुफर को सरनागो फरमा तमाम मुमिनीन की जानो मालो आबरू की हिफाजत फरमा उलमाए हक व मराजा का साया हमारे सारों पर कायम फरमा हमारे इबादत को कबूल फरमा
Thank you, Agha, Abbas, Ayleya, for your presence. It was truly a great honor. For the next piece, I would like to say, of the several prescribed ziyarat of Imam Hussain, this one was recited by our beloved Imam al-Mahdi Ajallallahu Ta'ala Farajahum. And this ziyarat has reached us through one of his 4 special deputies. One of the most